First, let me say that I wanted to come today along with Martin Luther King III and the lawyers for Michael Bell because we had, among other groups, asked this committee to hear because we think this is a serious problem that goes beyond demagoguery and profiling. I was called in the summer by the parents of Michael Bell, who asked me to come to Jena because they felt their son had been treated unjustly. And we responded to that call. They felt that the government in Jena, the state government in Louisiana, as well as the national government did not hear their cry. Anytime we are in a situation where young people of the same age face different levels of justice, then we are experiencing, in our opinion, the undermining of the Constitution and certainly the drawback of the dream that many of us fought for and continue to fight for. It seemed inconceivable to us that young people could be charged as adults, but other young people could not be charged at all. When you have a system set up where you are too young to be charged with a bias crime, but you're the same age and can be charged as an adult for attempted murder, that speaks to some level of the justice system having to address that. And when they were given a court-appointed attorney that did not raise that, they were able later to get Attorney Scott, who sits behind me, and Attorney Lexi Powell, who sits behind me, and able to successfully bring that into the Third Circuit and overturn the adult conviction of Michael Bell after serving 10 months in jail. But I would beseech this committee to look into the fact that Jena is all over this country. It's hangman nooses at Columbia University in New York. It's even a hangman noose at the site of 9/11. It's in North Carolina. It's in California, all kinds of reports. And what has been most troubling is the silence of the federal government in the face of this. Now, this is bipartisan. In the Republican administration of Dwight Eisenhower sent the federal government into Little Rock. John Kennedy sent in the federal government, and the Justice Department was involved. So did Lyndon Johnson. What has happened in Jena and what has happened all over this country, we have not heard one federal response. It is almost like the national government is not in the country while we're watching nooses on the news every night, while we're watching hate crimes. And if we can't appeal to the federal government, where can we go? It has been rationalized by those in Jena, some that these nooses was a prank. A prank to who? Grandchildren of people who saw their grandparents hang on nooses? If there is a prank, if there is a joke, the joke is if we can represent to the world that we're the land of the free and the home of the brave, but we can't protect youngsters in Jena, Louisiana, and we can't stop people from hanging nooses, and our federal government, after 50 years of bipartisan tradition of protecting people from states' rights, has now decided it can no longer protect people from states that decide they can prosecute some 16-year-olds if they're black as adults, but can't prosecute other 16-year-olds if they're white, same age, but they qualify as juveniles. Do we want harmony? Absolutely. Do we want the races to come together? Absolutely. But you cannot achieve racial justice by getting a premature racial quiet. There's a difference between peace and quiet, Mr. Chairman. Quiet means shut up and allow a two-tier justice system to continue to exist. Justice means we must have an even playing field, and the Justice Department, at the behest of this committee, needs to step into Jena and the Jenas of this country and establish that the federal government is still in charge and the states did not win the Civil War.